Hello guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sasha, for those of you who don't know me, and today is going to be like I don't know, a new format. I've never done a video like this, but I don't know, I have been wanting to do a video like this for quite some time now, and I decided why not do it today. Today is the day. So, I'm gonna be talking about things that I wish I was told at 13 when I was 13 years old that I was not told. So, I'm gonna tell you now. And you don't have to be like 13 in order to watch this video and take in any points that you want to take in. Uh, Spoiler, like I don't know, warning, whatever, that I'm not a mental health professional. I cannot give such advice. If you need help, please reach out for professional help. There's no shame in that, and really, like there are a lot of people, a lot of like volunteer psychologists and like volunteer mental health professionals and mental health professionals with like reduced cost and maybe even like donations. So there's always like help to find. Just like I genuinely wish that if you are the person who's like watching this video and searching for help, that you find it as soon as you possibly can. You know, with your own like terms that you're comfortable with, like whatever. But yeah, let's get into the video. So I'm not gonna edit that much, I want it to be like more like a sit down and talk, like an older stay like talk video. Again, you don't have to be 13 in order to be watching this video. If you are, hi, hello. Um, if you are not, also hi, hello. So, number one is that I wish I was told that the way I look, I will not look this way forever. Because when I hit 13, my body started changing really rapidly, as it like was in my eyes. That I'm like, oh my god, I have, grown, and I'm growing. I'm my body is growing in every way that it's possible. This is like so awkward. Oh my god, I'm so uncomfortable with that. I'm pretty sure you were told like it's all normal, but I want to show you now that literally it's all normal, and you're not always going to look like the way you look, right now. Because when I was 13, I started having my first kind of like insecurities, like body image issues and stuff like that. Trigger warning. I'm not going to talk about like anything triggering, but just like that. Take care of yourself. I started having like body image issues and like a lot of like insecurities. I would like pinpoint a lot of insecurities in myself that right now I don't have because I've grown up and they all like disappeared. Not all of them disappeared though. With many of them, I have learned to live, because often when we try and control and change and and like a lot of different ways how we look and how we perceive ourselves, we actually don't do ourselves like any good, because like we are thinking like, okay, so I fixed this thing, now I'm gonna go fix another thing, and like we never run out of things to fix when actually there's like nothing to fix. I'm gonna show you that. I have grown up. Yes, looking back at the photos of like 13-year-old me, I'm like, oh my god. I honestly, I'm gonna tell you like genuinely that I look at myself with such gentleness now, like at the past version of me who was like 13. I was like, oh my god, this girl was genuinely so beautiful. She was genuinely so talented, and she was beautiful, like physically beautiful, you know. I had I had really nice eyes, I had really nice nose, I had really nice lips and all that. And I just looking back, I'm like, how could I freaking hate it? Like, how could I ever freaking hate it? You know, it's a part of me. And yeah, so you are going to grow up. Don't worry, you are not going to be stuck in this body that you are in and you are like so awkward with. And also about like comments, because I know a lot of girls when they hit puberty. Oh my god, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, I'm not gonna sneeze. I was gonna cough. A lot of girls that hit puberty, like who like hit puberty, they got a lot of comments from like boys, classmates, friends, or even like mom and grandma, which was like so incredibly painful. If you were like or are the one getting those comments, just let me hug you if you don't mind, because it's genuinely so fucking painful. But if anyone like is commenting on your body, just like you don't have to tell them that, but like fuck them, literally like replay that like in your head that I'm growing, my body is changing, but it's not gonna be that way forever. So if somebody like criticizes your, I don't know, long legs or your teeth or I don't fucking know, or your fucking arms or your fucking fingers, because people will always find something to like fuck with, you know, find something in you that you're like, oh my god, you have fucking ugly fingers. Fuck them. Like genuinely fuck them. Like I don't even have like any other advice. You don't have to like defend yourself in front of them. You don't have to convince them that it's okay, because a lot of people they're stuck in this like fucking narrow mindset that they're like, oh my god, this person looks a certain way, I'm gonna bully them for that. Like, fuck them. Uh, yeah, they just don't realize that you are growing and that you are changing and that you are not going to look uh the way that you look forever. You are going to change. You are going to evolve and you're going to grow and you are going to find your style and stuff like that. So, fuck them. Like, obviously, you don't have to tell them that, especially like if it's like someone older and you really don't want to like fuck with them and get into some kind of trouble. But oh my god, what's happening? Oh, it's another car. But just like keep in mind that it's like not something that you know you can like influence them out of, because even if you show them like thousands of girls just like you with like you know who are like growing up just like you, they are still gonna they're still gonna say, oh, but you have ugly fingers. So what? Like, so fucking what? Just I know that it's like hard not to listen to. I've been there, you know. I've been there, and I have always been a person who like took everything really close to my heart, you know, and took everything personally. Anything that I have been told about my like appearance, I will take it personally. But you have to understand that you as a person are so fucking valuable and you know worthy of love and worthy of respect, and that you are loved and that you are respected and that you do matter, you know, exactly as you are, you do matter. Oh, so uh my advice would be like finding something that you like about yourself. That could be like one tiny thing. I remember what helped me when I was 13 was like focusing on my eyes, because I like the only part of me that I loved back at 13 was my eyes, and I was like, I have, quite beautiful eyes. I'm proud of my eyes. And, not saying that it's like fixed tension, but it really kind of helped me not to be that like self-conscious about myself like constantly. I was like, when I would like walk down the street, I had like this insecurity about myself. Oh my god, what's with my camera? So my camera cut off randomly, but when I was when I was 13, I had this really like insecurity about myself. I am a disabled person, and whenever I would, obviously I grew up, I was 13, and when I was walking down the street, I would like hyper focus on all the people who would look at me weird and just like make a conclusion that if they look at me like that, there must be something wrong with me. There must be like I have to fix it, like somewhere I have to fix, my appearance some way. But actually I cannot like change it, And even when I did try to change something about me that I could change, people would still look at me weird. So even if you do try and change something, people will look at you weird because some people are fucking weirdos, and that's it. And I learned it. I learned it, in a really painful way. And I would not want anyone to go through what I went through with my body image. So what I'm like saying right now is stemming from like this a lot of like baggage from the past, and I'm like speaking from my heart. I'm not like, I'm not speaking from some kind of thing that I've read on the internet and like generic advice. I genuinely am speaking from like my experience and my heart. And by the way, if you have like any questions, if you want to talk, if you like want to get like any advice about like any kind of specific thing, don't hesitate to comment down below. Please don't hesitate. I strive to create, such a beautiful and safe space. So like please don't hesitate if you need anyone to talk to. I'm here for you. Also, you can like, I'm gonna link my other social media down below. You can text me there, and yeah, and I'll try and help you in any way that I can. Don't hesitate. So, we talked about a little bit about that. My third advice would be, do not be ashamed of your interests, because now I am 17. I have grown up. I have grown out a lot. I have grown out out many things that I loved, but I still look back at them and I genuinely like, I get nostalgic. This is first of all, I get nostalgic, and second of all, I understand how many of those things shaped who I am now. So, for example, I used to be really into Harry Potter. I'm not into Harry Potter anymore, but I will always remember like Sirius Black, he will always be in my heart. I think that was like my first ever comfort character. Like I realized there's like a concept of like comfort character that you can do, that you can have, and Sirius Black was my first ever comfort character. So please don't be ashamed of your interests. They are fucking awesome. I'm pretty sure. And also, I mean, when I was 13, I started journaling for the first time in my life. Well, not in my life. I did keep a diary when I was a kid, but journaling, really journaling. And I'm still journaling, I'm happy to say that I'm still journaling. And also, I recently started like reading more because when I was like 13, I used to be like a huge bookworm, and then I kind of like fell out of it, and now I'm getting back into it. And genuinely, like, I forgot how good it feels to be reading genuinely like a good book, not for school assignment, but just like for myself. So don't be ashamed of your hobbies; they're fucking awesome. And also like experiments. That's like the advice that I've been given, and I still live by that. I was talking to my now ex English tutor. He does not tutor me anymore, but he used to be my tutor, my private tutor. And I was talking to him, and I was like, man, I have so many hobbies. I photograph, I draw, I sing, I fucking read, I like whatever. I like write poetry and write prose and stuff like that. And he was like, don't be ashamed of that, and like try as much as you can. Try, like, of course, safe things, try safe hobbies because they are gonna shape you in a way that you don't even know yet. So, like, try as much as you can because I don't know, maybe it's gonna like impact your career in some way. And ever since then, I was like, even though at first I was like, how writing, like creative writing, fan fiction is gonna help me in life, I don't know, that bullshit. But now that I'm actually, I am a content creator, and like I adore just like I write, articles, I write still like creative writing, I journal, and I want to get into like a lot of other stuff. So it's also a skill. You're also like developing a skill. Plus, it's like imagination and creativity, and it's all really, 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 really good. So try as many hobbies as you can because you don't know what's gonna end. What's gonna come out of it. For example, photography. I picked up photography when I was 14, and I was genuinely good at it. So I did not like expect that I would be good at it. I did not expect that I would like be able to photograph on my phone, but I was genuinely good at it. And when I was 13, I started writing poetry. Also, did not think anything of it. Also, thought that it was like some kind of fleeting things that I would not stick to it, but I still write poetry to this day. And even my poetry that I've written when I was, but yeah, back then, it was good. It was good. I'm proud of it. So, try as many hobbies as you possibly can and like explore yourself. This is like such a wonderful thing that we as human beings have this unlimited opportunity to like explore ourselves. My next advice would probably be like learn to deal with your emotions. And please don't turn off this video. I know that sounds like annoying because you're like, Sasha, what the fuck do you mean? I have like fleeting emotions, and I have ton shit of emotions the other day, and they're so overwhelming, and I don't know how to deal with them. I don't know what the fuck to do with them. There's like so many, like blend in one. And trust me, I know. Trust me, I understand. But genuinely, like looking back, I think that most of the coping mechanisms that I used, which by the way were unhealthy coping mechanisms, so I know more than I look like. I know much more. I have, much more to me, sadly, than I look like. Was genuinely because I did not know that there was like a healthy coping mechanism. Genuinely. Like, I did not know that I could do like any different. So I did how I knew that I could do. And it was not always healthy. So I think that I would really benefit from like skills like tip and riding the wave, because like eventually all emotions are like waves that you can ride. And I know that you're like, oh my god, how are they waves if you like, whenever I'm like indulging in this like mechanism, they pass. Yes, they do. Not because you are indulging in some kind of mechanism. It's not because of or it's not because of this coping skill that is unhealthy that you're using. It's not because of that. It may seem like that because our brain is like, oh my god, you are doing something. You are doing something and it's like helping, like quote unquote helping. Let's do it again. Let's do it again whenever we have like a similar situation. But it's genuinely not because something is helping. It's because the emotion itself is like passing through you as you are doing that. And you can do it with many more things that are not harmful. And I'm not gonna list like some kind of like cheesy coping mechanism, how you can deal with your emotions. I will say that back then I would really benefit from such skills as tip, stop, accept, accept, I think it's called. Yeah, accept. So I'm gonna like have like a bunch of skills pop. So like take a screenshot and also like practice them. There's like a ton share of YouTube videos on how to help yourself and how to practice. But like please don't watch like glow up videos too much, because genuinely I watched a lot of like how to glow up in like 6 months, or like that girl waking up at 5 a.m. and changing her life. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. Especially if you are using that as like a coping mechanism not to deal with whatever bullshit is happening inside your life. Because I remember when I was 13/14 and I was watching all of these kind of videos, and I would wake up 5 in the morning and do my morning yoga and do my morning meditation and gratitude journaling and do make myself some kind of fucking smoothie. I was so fucking deeply miserable, and I was struggling so much, so fucking much. But I tried to cover it up with like all of this like aesthetic shit. So don't get too much into it. I'm gonna link down like helpful resources that you can try, and I hope that it helps. And again, if you have something to say, uh, write it in the comments like down below. I'll be down to talk, genuinely down to talk. And my next advice would be have someone that you can talk to, and I know that it's like so hard to do because when you're 13, suddenly all adults seem fucking dumb. All adults seem like they don't know shit. Especially with how many adults. I remember when I was like 13 and I would come up to some kind of like, I don't know, like cousin who was like slightly older than me, and I was like, I'm dealing with like this and that. Like, have you ever dealt with that? And it's obvious that they have dealt with that when they were my age, but they're like, no, I have never dealt. I have never dealt with that. You are too young. Like, you are too young to deal with that. Like, you should not be thinking about that. Like, it's bullshit. Like, it's fucking bullshit. They definitely deal with that. So, many adults, they just don't want to admit, don't want to come back to the times when they were struggling and all the stuff. But find yourself someone that you can genuinely talk to. If it's on the internet, like be safe, because if you are a girl and you hit 13 and you go on the internet, there's gonna be a lot of dudes, a lot of older dudes who are going to be like, "Hi, you're so pretty. Do you want to be friends?" Please say no. Please say fucking no. No matter how nice he seems, no matter how charming he is, no matter if he says, all the right things and all the things that you want to hear and all the things that you have never been told in your entire life, like you will end up heartbroken or even worse. So please take care of yourself. Find some, I don't know, aunt, older sister, like friend, like slightly older friend that you can talk to, like a tutor, a teacher, anyone who's not gonna say a bunch of bullshit as a response to your problems. Yeah. What else? Definitely get a journal. Definitely get a journal. That should have been, my number one advice. And I know what you're thinking right now. I'm like, I know you're thinking like, oh my god, that actually is so cringe. I hated that. I will hate reading back on that. You don't have to fucking read back on that, especially if you know that first times you will cringe. Definitely, you know. So just write in that. I will film a separate video on my mistakes that I made when I was first starting out journaling, so you don't have to repeat them. But yeah, get a journal. If you're so afraid that it's going to be bad, write in another language. I learned a whole lot language, almost from the scratch, to write in my journal. I was craving privacy this much. And I think that's going to be it. I hope this video was like somehow even a little bit beneficial. I wanted to like say something wise, but I'm not the type of person who to say something wise, on a constant like daily basis. So I hope that this video was beneficial and maybe even fun. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Love yourself because I love you. Oh, and about like identity, I forgot. Like about identity, I'm gonna talk about identity because this is so important. I recalled, if you are realizing yourself as queer, as like gay, lesbian, transgender, non-binary, like anything, as like queer in any way. And if you have some kind of friend who is not willing to accept that, fuck that friend. Fuck that, like, literally fuck that friend. Because you are never going to be able to convince them to accept you. And it's going to fuck with you so much. And we don't need any of the internal homophobia or transphobia. We don't need that. So fuck that person, and I know that it feels like, oh my god, what if I will end up like friendless? What if I will never find anyone ever again? You will. Honey, you absolutely will. Because when you break up with them, you kind of heal up a little bit, accept yourself, and you meet like fucking ton shit of wonderful people who are not even going to question, who are not going to like, oh my god, are you gay? Like, I'm not sure if I'm okay with the fact that you're gay. That's just gonna be like, okay, like who's your boyfriend? Who's your girlfriend? Who's your partner? Like, what do you like to look like? What makeup? Whatever. You know, there are those people, and you will definitely find them. I guarantee you it. And you'll be looking back at this person that you were like genuinely trying to convince, and you will be like, holy shit, that is so petty of them. That is so lame of them to not be educated and to not be accepted in 21st century. That is so lame. So don't waste your time on lame people, and know that you're deeply loved and deeply accepted and that you belong. And I will see you guys belong to on this earth, you know, on this motherfucking planet. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching it. I hope that it was fun, helpful, like, I don't know, whatever. Let me know what you think in the comment below. And again, if you need someone to talk to, also drop a comment. I will definitely see it and I will definitely respond to it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! Is that you don't have to deal with anything alone. And I know that it like sounds so cliche, you don't have to deal with anything alone. But genuinely, back when I was like 13, I was dealing with a lot of stuff. And when I would open up to some kind of people, or even later when I grew up a little bit and I opened up about what I was going through when I was 13, people would tell me, you did not have to do it alone. Like, I went through it too. I could help you, I could help you in that way or this way. So if you're actively going through something, reach out to someone because they might be your like buddy. Like, they might be going to the same or have gone to the same, and like have your back in that. You don't. You are never alone. There are always people who are going to the same. Even if you don't know them personally, but you just genuinely are never alone. All emotions they pass, even if it feels like they're endless. They all pass. You just have to deal with them like ethically. And I don't know. I might want to film a video on how to process your emotions. Let me down in the comment below if you want that, how to process your emotions or how to deal with your emotions when you're like overwhelmed with them. When you have like ton shit of emotion and you don't know what to do with them and you're like kind of being pulled in a lot of different unhealthy directions and stuff like that. Uh, so you are never alone. You have definitely people who are going to the same in this entire world. You don't have to keep it in, and sometimes when you open up and turns out that this person understands you and stuff like that, and you can solve a problem together like step by step. It might not be like quick or easy, but like step by step. And it's genuinely so nice not to be alone. It's genuinely so nice to have your have someone to like vent to or talk to. And please don't be afraid of like getting dependent, because I see a lot of teenagers I have talked to or worked with in any way. So like, I don't want to reach out for help. I don't want to talk to even to my friends because I'm like afraid that I'm gonna get like dependent on like venting to them or talking to them and all this stuff. But I'm gonna tell you this, that venting to someone and talking and processing your emotions enhances your ability, yes, slowly, but it enhances your ability to deal with your emotions alone. Because when you're processing emotion with someone, your brain is learning that emotion is not something scary, that it's not something that is like life threatening, and you don't have to deal with that alone. So the next time you're dealing with something similar like that, your brain might just like remember, that we dealt with it before. It was not as scary. We were told all these things, and you will actually be able to help yourself. For example, let's say you're having a panic attack and your friend helps you through a panic attack. Yes, a couple more times you might need a friend to remind you how to deal with a panic attack. But I can assure you that with time, if you practice in situations like when you don't have a panic attack but you feel like slightly anxious, and you apply this like technique that your friend like gave you, you are going to learn to do it all on your own. And the thing is, it does not have to be scary. It does not have to be, oh my god, I'm alone. I'm alone with that. That's so scary. With time, you will learn your own strength, and you will learn to say to yourself that I can do that. It's not life threatening. It's nothing bad is gonna happen to me. I'm safe. It's just like a bodily reaction that I can that I just need to ride, and I'll be out of it eventually. So don't be afraid to reach out for help, please. It's good. It's good.